everybody, Ellen here. Today I come to you guys with my August TBR. This time I've actually chosen to 6 books to read because it went really well when I did that in July, and also my vacation doesn't end for a few more days, so I don't start working until August 10th. So I'm hoping to be able to power through a few of these before I start working again. But yeah, let's talk about the books. So the very first book is by far the biggest, and that is Legacy by Shannon Messenger. This is the 8th book in the series about Sophie Foster. It's a middle grade book, and Sophie actually finds out that she is not human. She's in fact an elf, although she has been living with humans her entire life. She's brought back into the elven world, where she finds out she has different sort of magical powers. She can do pretty cool things just because she's an elf, and there's some mystery around where she comes from, and she's just trying to figure everything out while she has to save the world. And I just love this series so much, which is why I keep like plowing through 800 pages worth of books, because this is pretty huge, and I don't know the exact page number of this book, but I'll write it down below. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one, and hopefully it will arrive in the mail very soon, because as of filming this, it's on its way to me. But yeah, definitely want to read this one. And then the next one is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, and this is very interesting. So we meet this guy named Linus Baker, and he's a by-the-book case worker, but he's sent off sort of this mission into an orphanage where there's some kids that have different mysterious magical powers, and his job is to figure out if they're sort of a threat against humanity. And they might have they might be very dangerous, these kids, because they come from different backgrounds and may or may not be related to different things. So it's really interesting. I really do want to read it. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, but hopefully I will enjoy it nonetheless. And of course I had to throw in an historical fiction. So I have The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I've had this for a little while now, and I just really want to read it. I am a little bit like, I don't know, I'm scared that I won't like it just because people love it. So I've been putting it off, but now is the time to do it. So in this one we meet 2 sisters. This book takes place during World War II, and it sort of shone some light on the women's war during this time. And we meet the 2 sisters, and they're separated by years and experienced by ideals, passion and circumstance, and each embarking on their own dangerous path towards survival, love and freedom in war-torn France. That's kind of vague, so we don't really know what happened that much, but I'm really looking forward to reading this one, and hopefully I will like it just as much as everybody else does. Otherwise I'm gonna be really disappointed. And then, since I've been reading one of these books like for the past few months, I thought I would continue on with my streak. I'm going to be reading The Tyrant's Tomb by Rick Riordan. This is the 4th book in the Trials of Apollo. It's actually starting to get a little bit chunkier at this point. In the first book we meet the god Apollo. He has been cast down to earth by his father Zeus because of a quarrel. And Apollo is now human. He goes by the name Lester Papadopoulos. He is tall, he's gangly, he's pimply, he doesn't have any magical abilities, and he's supposed to defend himself from different kind of gods and like mystical creatures, and he has to save the world repeatedly. So how's that gonna work out when he has no magical powers? Definitely not my favorite Rick Riordan series so far, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really looking forward to reading this one as well. Of course I needed some fast to get through contemporary, and we have a book I've had on my shelf for quite a few months, if not a year, maybe not that long, but quite a few months. But this is A Match Made in Mehendi by Nandini Baipai. Sorry if I butchered that. But this is about a girl who creates this sort of dating app. So they just have to fill in their profile, take a fun quiz, receive a personal icon, and then they would get matched with 5 people from the school. So I think the controversial thing is that she matches up the star of the boys soccer team, and she matches him up with a wallflower kind of girl. So she makes herself some enemies, but among the popular girls who are actually interested in this boy. It sounds like a really cool concept, and I'm really looking forward to reading this one. The sixth and the final book is another book that has been on my shelf for quite a few months, and I don't know why, because I really want to read it. That is Love from A to Z by S.K. Ali, and I love this cover. So we meet Zainab, and she's the only Muslim in her class, and she's quite angry because her teacher keeps repeating how bad Muslims are, and she just cannot take it anymore. And she actually confronts this teacher, and she ends up being suspended. And he also begins to investigate her activist friends. So Zainab heads to her aunt's house in Doha, Qatar, for an early spring break. And she's fueled by guilt of getting her friends in trouble. She resolves to try a new, nicer version of herself in a place where no one knows her. And then her paths cross with Adams. He is actually recently diagnosed with scoliosis, and he stopped going to classes, trying to instead of perfecting the making of things. And his intent of keeping the memory of his mom alive for his little sister's sake. And he actually hasn't told his grieving father about his scoliosis. So they meet, and I'm guessing they fall in love, and it's gonna be all cutesy, hopefully. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one as well. But yeah, those were the 6 books I'm planning to read this month. Hopefully they will all be quick to get through, but I mean, Legacy is definitely going to take a big chunk of my time because it's huge. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading all of these books. And if any of you guys have read any of these books, please let me know down below what you thought about them, without spoiling anybody, of course. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give me some thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the little button down below. And yeah, I hope we see each other in the next one.